Thank you so much for joining us today for the Mid-Atlantic Energy Hearing. Thank you so much to our legislators from Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Virginia's here in spirit, and of course, Maryland. There is a bipartisan, multi-state agreement that we have an energy crisis. Restoring energy affordability and reliability is our aim. We need to keep the lights on every day for everybody. We need to lower costs and make it affordable. We are here as legislators every day for the people we represent. And I'm going to read you 2 recent emails that I received, and all of us could say the same thing. Quote, "I am so mad. I just got my BGE bill. It is $753.53. How are we supposed to be able to afford this?" And right behind that was another email. "Just got my BGE bill. This is insane. The bill has increased by another $200 plus. This is unbelievable. We cannot wait. We need energy that is affordable, reliable, and abundant. Or the other option is we have expensive, unaffordable energy, we have brownouts and blackouts, and we have a scarcity of power because of bad energy policies that are shutting down power plants without replacing that energy." We all learned from the hearing. We must unleash American ingenuity and American entrepreneurial spirit and get the government out of the way. Amen. With that, I'll introduce Maryland's Delegate Mark Fisher.
Thank you, Delegate Shalega. I'm Mark Fisher from Calvert County. I represent Constellation Energy, which has the nuclear power plant in Calvert County. It actually produces 40% at a minimum of the state's electricity. And also represent Cove Point, which is a liquefaction natural gas export plant, which, believe it or not, has been keeping Europe warm and powered because they adopted the green energy nonsense. Governor Wes Moore has said time and again that he wants Marylanders to have more affordability, yet he is unwilling to change any of his policies as it relates to energy. Why hasn't he, for example, opened up the closed power plants? Why hasn't he gotten rid of the Empower surcharge on your bill? Why hasn't he done anything other than to try to subsidize with a tiny little bit of money your energy bill that lasts just a short time? That's not the solution. The Freedom Caucus here in Annapolis, with our good friends from Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and of course Virginia in spirit, we know what has to be done, and we've offered actual solutions to solve this problem. I would also like to say this. Governor Wes Moore is even against natural gas. In fact, the Maryland Public Service Commission and the Maryland Department of the Environment are promulgating regulations as we speak to force you to get rid of natural gas when you build new or when you renovate your house or your business. Think about how devastating that will be to the diversification of our economy, as well as also to the business community and to prices in the state of Maryland. But that did not stop Governor Wes Moore from sitting in front of a cozy fireplace in the governor's mansion while it was burning on natural gas. Isn't that interesting? The Democrat Party believe the elites don't get to live by the same rules they make for everybody else. It's the same thing that's happened in every other socialist state, and Maryland is headed in that direction. We must change the policies of this state to save the retirees, to create real affordability, and to also make it less expensive, to live here in the state of Maryland. This is long overdue. I've been on the Energy Committee, and I'll finish with this. I've been on the Energy Committee in Annapolis for a very long time, and I've watched these crazy policies that are anti-human. They're actually anti-human. People are trying to get out of the state as fast as they can because they're so anti-human. And that's why Maryland has this incredibly bad budget deficit because all of the wealth is leaving. And for good reason. So Governor Westmore, why don't you do something, actually, to help affordability in Maryland and have real solutions instead of running for president? It's time to run Maryland instead. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to say thanks again for everybody that showed up today. I think this is a vitally and critical time and an issue that we're all facing. And I look around and I try to find that common denominator of what do we all face? And there's one thing that I saw that all of us agree in unison. Reggie is a grift. The Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative is a grift. It has not produced a single positive environmental impact. What we do is we take money from these power producers, they pass it on to the ratepayer, they send the money up to New York, New York sends it back to Maryland for our guys to pick winners and losers. $1.4 billion Maryland has paid into it so far. Last year in the budget crisis, you know what we decided to do? We swept $350 million out of it. $350 million that they told me was going to save the environment and bring back clean water and air. But they balanced the budget on it. It's a grift. And they give that money out to their friends. We all need out of it. Yes. To start moving towards solutions right now, we need to get out of the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. I have a bill in to do it. I am going to ask everybody to support me in getting rid of that grift. It results in nothing but other people being paid off to support certain candidates. With that, I would like to turn it over to Representative Williams from Pennsylvania.
Thank you very much. I hope what you're hearing is a great deal of anxiety coming from Maryland about the situation of their electricity availability. And what I'm about to tell you is not going to provide you any hope. In fact, I hope what I'm doing is raising your anxiety further. We in Pennsylvania have decided that we sit on the precipice of a generation, an electricity generation boom, which is why in our budget late last year, we passed with an overwhelmingly bipartisan majority. In our House, it was 190 to 13 to make sure that we ended any putative involvement in Reggie. I say that because our governor entered us into it by executive order and it was tied up in the courts. So we were never in it, but it hung like a regulatory black cloud over our state, preventing large-scale generation from coming. This is the piece that we know without doubt. We are here already at electricity scarcity, meaning we don't have enough resources to meet not only today's demand, but the demand that's coming by way of electrification, data centers, and our electric economy. It's here. It's reflected by the fact in the last capacity market in Pennsylvania, it increased by 800% plus. In Maryland, it was 1,500%. The governor of Pennsylvania sued PJM to put a cap on those prices for 1 year, and now we're facing price collars. What that means for my state is if neighboring states make bad energy policy, we pay the price. We pay the price. Like others have said, I have constituents calling my office every single day, scared and worried about their electricity utility bills. Every single day. It's the #1 issue in my district. And I'm saying to you at home, my constituents, I'm here to break the wheel. I said that in the hearing. Pennsylvania is going to break the wheel in this way. If tomorrow is a generation, electric generation boom, the gold rush coming to Pennsylvania, we're going to take advantage of it. We're going to make all the power that you need. But we're going to take care of Pennsylvanians first. That's my message. And if that means we need to study leaving PJM so that we take care of Pennsylvanians first, that's what we're going to do. Because my worry is about my ratepayer, my constituent in my district, paying for the bad energy policies of neighboring states. We're not going to do it anymore. And I bet we're going to get a bipartisan majority on that vote too. I don't know what the answer is, but I do know that 99 years of allowing some states to take our natural gas generation from the west of Pennsylvania and pretend that they're sitting on some sort of clean energy virtue throne is over. You can have all of that virtue that you want, but you're going to pay us. That's the future. It's coming. There's a gold rush of electricity coming. The question is, which states are going to be in it and which states are going to be left behind? You've heard the anxiety of Maryland. You need to be ramping it up.
Thank you, Representative. Now I'd like to bring up Representative Meyer from New Jersey.
Thank you, Delegate Chisholm, and thank you to the Maryland Freedom Caucus for holding this event. And everything you heard is, it's very accurate. We are in an energy crisis, whether you're an energy producing state like Pennsylvania or an energy importer like my state of New Jersey, like Maryland, like many others. PJM has been around for 99 years, but even before that, there's a guy called Thomas Edison from the state of New Jersey. When you tour the New Jersey State Capitol, they show you that around the Assembly Chamber, you have lights that have, they're kind of like top and bottom. One is for electricity, one's for natural gas, because they didn't know if this whole electricity thing was going to work out, so they had a backup plan. So over a century later, what we didn't have in our state, we closed down 6 power plants betting on offshore wind. We didn't have that backup plan. They closed the plants first before they had the power. Now we're seeing year over year double-digit increases. It's affecting every single person in New Jersey, every single facet of our lives. Whether it's buying your food, whether it's heating your home, lighting your home, everybody's situation is different, but everybody knows that they're paying more, particularly for our seniors on fixed incomes, and this cannot stand. We need to deregulate, we need to unleash the power of the free market, which is what brought us this electric power in our homes in the first place. So let's work together. Pennsylvania, we do not want you to leave, we need you. Maryland, you're our friends too. And Virginia, I know you're out there, you're with us as well. But I do think collectively we can all work, and I say collectively in the sense that we all bring something to the table. We've been in together for a long time, and I think the future is here, but again, it's a supply and demand issue. Demand is only going up. That means the supply must go up as well. We've seen innovations in saving energy, LED bulbs, that bought us some time, but the can's kicked down the road. Let's do something now, and let's do it quickly. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Anybody moment? At this time, we're open for questions. If anybody has any questions, we're happy to answer them, or you can always grab anybody as we're coming off, if you want to do an interview in person. That's it. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.